Okay, guys, welcome to the world of YouTube. If of course this makes it onto YouTube. We've got two fantastic teams for us today. It's the 24th of February 2023, and we're totally shaking it up. We are mixing it up today. For the first time ever, we've broke away from CITB's actual projects, and we've developed one for the new, exciting, futuristic project, which is happening right now, just starting January last month, in Neom. The project is Neom in Saudi Arabia. The guys have took this project on with minimal information, so a lot of this is going to be based on reasonable assumptions, and I am blown away by their professionalism over the last couple of days. I'm particularly excited to see these two presentations. So Lucian, I'm going to start the timer as soon as I hear your voice, and I really genuinely want to wish both teams all the very best. Go and smash the life out of it, guys.
Thank you. So can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
let me start. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lucian George. I am a site manager for Future Constructions, the principal contractor, and I will be starting this presentation today for the line site setup. First of all, I would like to thank our client for the warm welcome and say that you have a very beautiful country. First of all, I would like to say that our company is taking this project very serious, and we also took into consideration the government's approach to Saudization. To that matter, our company has implemented a sustainability program that consists of a monthly report system for all contractors that will be working on this project, including us. The sustainability tool, as we call it, has been proven to be very successful on other projects. It's composed of reports from all the parties implicated on these projects that contains, for example, the number of local employees that the companies have, or how many young workers they have on site. If they employ any employees from the Bedouin tribes in the area, or if they purchase materials for any local stores, if they have donated any money to the local charities. And after we gather all that data, we can plan on how we can improve even more our impact on the local community and traditions. Going forward, I would like to introduce the very ambitious project that we will be working on. It's called The Line, and it's basically a city in a straight long building stretching for almost 170 kilometers. Very futuristic. I don't think that anyone even close has ever been done. Well, after our research to the project, we've identified, you can see here the project has already started, but we have identified that the building is actually gonna be composed of separate modules, and they will be connected by the spine, as they call it here. So we focused our site plan on one of those modules, the first one, and implement a system that can be used on all of them, because it would have been very hard for us to make a site 170 kilometers wide. So moving forward, we've made a site plan of the line, as you can see in the pictures. Outside the site, we have the site car park, because there's gonna be a lot of employees coming from far away. Next to the site car park is the emergency assembly point. Next to it, we have a helipad, because hospitals are very far away. So in case of a medical emergency, a team will be on standby to take them to the hospital. We have 4 principal roads leading to the site. At the front of the site, you will have the pedestrian entrance, which will be with a security guard in it, with turnstable style entrance that will require fingerprint or an ID card. Entering the site, you will enter a green area where it's barriered off by all the hazards, and you will not be required to wear PPE in this area. You will have the site offices with the induction room, meeting rooms, offices for all the contractors, even the client, toilets and disabled toilets. Next to it, we have the welfare facilities with the canteen, changing rooms, toilets again, showers, places to wash your hands. Sorry. Next to it, we'll have our prayer room and also a recreational room for the workers' mental health if they need to relax. And next to the recreation room, we'll have a first aid room with a nurse inside ready to assist you. As you can see, we have a power supply, multiple fire points along the side with alarm that you can raise in case of a fire is being spotted. In the center of the site, it is a representation of the buildings that are going to be built, 2 tower cranes. You're going to have site illumination. You're going to have potable cold water placed all over the site with signs where you can use. Going down the site, you'll have a pedestrian area marked with the direction of the emergency escape route. We have a storage area for bulk items or pallets or bigger items. They can be stored outside. We have storage units for tools, materials, so some of the smaller stuff. We put the coach unit in a corner separate and the gas unit separate from all the other parts because it's dangerous. As you can see, we have a smoking area. We put it further away because it bothers a lot of people if you smoke next to them. We have another toilet on site for all genders and disabled. Also, we have traffic routes for the plant and equipment. Everything is barriered, so it doesn't pose any dangers to any pedestrians walking on the safety route. We have marked where plant is going to be moving, and it's going to be marked on the ground as well. And they're going to have a traffic marshal with them. Any of the entrances to this area are going to be gated, and you're going to wait for a signal, thumbs up for a signal from the traffic marshal that it's okay to go into the building. Also here we have a provisional storage area. So we have gate 1 and gate 2 where we're going to have deliveries going through all in this area. So if there are any larger items that need to be broken down and taken to the storage area, they can be left here for the time being. Also, we have a storage area for waste segregation that can be segregated and sent for recycling afterwards. We have a marked area where plant and equipment can be parked when it's not used. Or for example, a concrete mixer, if it's waiting for delivery, it can wait there where it cannot harm anyone. Also, we have a very enhanced security system on site. We have security personnel, we have security cameras, we have security drones, as you can see. So it's pretty much most of it. I'm gonna pass you over now to my esteemed colleague, Dan, to continue with this presentation. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name's Daniel. I'm going to be working under Bruce on this project. So some of the site rules that we've put in place are, for instance, PPE. We will have the lads wearing hard hats with neck protection to prevent sunburn. Also, we're going to be asking the boys to be using full face fixed glasses to stop dust and sand getting in their eyes. High visible vests and boots, obviously, because moving plant. Next slide, please, mate. Also, we've decided to put a first aid office on site, including a nurse. So this will prevent any injuries getting any worse while we get emergency services to the job if needed, because obviously the hospital is an hour and a half away. Next slide, please, mate. We also have taken the decision to put operative in a maximum group of 10, one of these being a supervisor / interpreter, as we will be using labour of non-English speaking. We believe this will reduce the number of accidents on site. Next one, please, mate. So we'll also be having sunscreen stations and water stations dotted all around site. obviously just because it's in the hot temperatures to keep the boys happy. The next one, please, mate. Right, site storage. So we're going to have designated areas for materials, all trades, to keep the site nice and tidy and to prevent any injury on site. Next one, please, mate. We're going to have water bowsers to try and control the dust and sand in the air, and diesel bowsers to keep the excavators and the dumpers continuously working, as there is no petrol stations close to the job. Next one, please, mate. Also, lighting equipment if we need to start working late. Next one, please. Waste management. We will be segregating waste in the designated skips, recycling general rubbish, because we believe this will help getting rid of the rubbish for recycling. Next one, please. So we'll be using generators at the beginning of the job until we get any mains power located to site. Kosh cages, for instance, we're going to be having these on site because to separate the waste, to control the hazardous substances that we will have on site. What else is it? Just going back, sorry boys, just going back on, I've lost it, sorry. Can I pass on to Bruce, please?
Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that as we're going through. Before I get into talking about fire, the emergencies and fire plans and the situations we've set up in that, I just want to quickly touch on something. As a company, we just do realize that working in Saudi Arabia, we have to implement a culture policy. And one of the issues that we've raised that is that you'll hear from further on when we speak to my other colleagues, and that we'll notice that in part of site induction, before anybody comes on site, we will be applying and implementing a system where they will have to go through a bit of a culture policy and a system where they're going to have to do a bit of homework and study and find out what the country they're coming to. A lot of foreigners who do come to this country don't realize what they're coming to and what they'll be involved in and dealing with. So we have come up as a company and insist that we will have a culture policy that will respect the culture and the norms. It will encourage workers to learn a bit of the language skills so that they can able to communicate with just the bare minimum. It will ensure that the religious practices are followed and respected and understood. We'll also encourage all the workers to understand the social etiquette of the country and be aware of the laws and regulations, and also include the diversity so that all foreigners, workers should be aware of and respect the diversity of the culture of Saudi Arabia, because we do realize and recognize as a company, we are guests in this country. We are not, this is not the UK, but we have been invited to participate. So as a company, we are very well aware of that. That being said, we also understand that we need to implement serious and proper fire systems in place of all the stuff. And the things that we've come up with is a few plans that we've come up with. We've got an accident and emergency policy in place. We have a fire system in place, and we have to talk in the different aspects. And that one of the things that you've noticed on the pictures we have included. We'll be including a fire service that will be on standby. We have the helipad where we will have the availability to have a reaction force from either be it for medical or for injury or whatever might be, the helicopter place, and that will be available to take any serious injured personnel. We've noticed in that we've got the fire extinguishers that will be placed all out on these fire extinguishers. As you see the picture there, it'll also have an alarm system that will be integrated, and they'll be able to connect it so people will be able to see what's on the go. People in the management and permanent staff will be trained in how to deal with fires, how to train people in working with what is fires and what is happening. There's also going to be all signposted. We will assembly points or muster points, and as anything else that happens in that next slide, please. And then you'll notice in this first aid, as my colleague Lucian and Daniel have alluded to, that we will have a first aid on site, we will have a nurse on site, but also as a company, we believe it's important that all management, all full-time staff are well trained in first aids, not just a simple first aid, but up to level 3, which is being able to do defibrillation and add any other needs that come up with it, because we do recognize that the emergencies on site are far greater than what are expected. The reasons we be speaking of is that we do recognize we are far away from cities, we're far away from many places, so we will need well-trained staff, and as a company we will have that in place. And being part of our fire plan, we've got a fire plan in place, we've got an emergency plan in place, and policies.
Am I at the right place?
And also, with that being done, the other part of it, next slide, please. We're talking about is notice the slip, trips, and falls, this 3-tier system we've got in place, recognizing what is a slip, trip, and fall, recognizing what is a minor injury and what is a serious injury. We've also put into place, one of our policies is that we'll be able to monitor and see what accidents are recorded so that we can learn from it, and we can use that going forward, and training, if need be, implemented in training facilities and different things. In our emergency system too, we've also recognized that we must train people in how to recognize the symptoms of mental health issues, but also sunstroke, heat stroke, and things that can affect you in the desert net, making sure that as part of our emergency policy, we have water placed all over the places, and people should be able to have access to all these things if need be and whenever possible. Some of the hazards we've noticed that people come up with, and we have in fact identified a list of about 25 different potential emergencies that come up with, and that could be, and the things are gas explosions and building collapses, hazardous material spills, falling objects, trench collapsing, power outages, and so on. Next slide, please. One of the main aspects of our recognizing as a company is that security will be of paramount because of the place where we're at, the area we'll be working in, the amount of equipment that will be moving around the site, and the dangers that could be faced to people just coming around. We are very aware of people that will be moving around in the areas, and so we have come up with a few security issues. One of them being, first, as you'll notice, is the iTrack system, which is a tracking card system. When anybody comes on site, they will be issued with a ID card and a tracker. This will enable us as a company to monitor who's on site, because in the end, they will be fingerprinted and photo taken of them, so we'll know, and that will coincide with their card, and then we'll be able to track them where they're on site, what they're doing, and what areas to make sure that they are working where they're supposed to be, and no one is just walking around meandering to where they shouldn't be. We'll be able to, every manager and that will have a radio system on them. They'll be able to react quickly to any fire emergencies or notify if there's anything happen. In a case of systems where things go down, we do have foot patrols. Security foot patrols will be available. We'll have emergency backup generators. We'll have emergency lighting systems. As we said earlier, we'll have drone systems that will be implemented also. And we'll be able to use a tracking system, which we've noticed there, that if intruders come onto site, we'll be able to see and know what's happened, any breaches. Next slide, please. And with that, I'd like to now hand over to my esteemed colleague, Ross, who will take us further. Thank you.
Hi, and Silvio, I'm going to talk you over document control. And as my colleague Bruce said, first of all, we're going to introduce all the documents. We're going to be also physical, but also they're going to be on a cloud, for example, Dropbox, as most of us are using it. The they're very easy to access, and we're going to have in place they're going to be managed by a designed document controller who can give access to the right people for the right documents, plans, for example, reports like inspection reports, accident books. Part of this, we're gonna have digital displays all over the site, which we're gonna help everybody, all the trades. They're gonna be able to access also drawings. They're gonna be able to access, as I said, files. Dropbox. We're gonna have also next slide, please. Sorry. We're gonna have, as my colleague said, we're gonna have signs all over the job, also printed, but also digital ones. So part of our policy is to have regulation from UK. So that includes also boards with permit works, even a suggestion box for everybody. Any suggestion is more than welcome from our company. Next slide, please. Also, I forgot to mention, every form and all the documents, we're going to try to be in multi-languages. As we know, we're going to have many cultures coming in. So our plan is to take the 4 main languages for the start, which is going to be English, Arab, as we're going to try, as my colleague said, regarding the Saudization. So we're going to try to employ as much as possible from local. Also, there's going to be Hindi and Punjabi, which are the main languages spoken in India and Pakistan. The site displays, we're going to show very relevant and important information for us, like temperatures. We know we're going to work in hard environment where the temperatures can drop or also rise very, very high. There's going to be, as my colleague said, everything is going to be monitored. So all the time, we're going to be able to tell how many people we have on site, if there are any accidents recorded, if there's going to be, for example, weather news like storms, and we can protect better our people on site by doing that. Next slide, please. Site inductions. Bruce said at the beginning that we're going to have a pre-site induction, as we're all probably familiar with. It's going to happen online. So basically, all personnel, we're going to have to do a site induction online, which we're going to contain their basic information about themselves. They're going to also be told about the new country they're coming in, with the cultures, with the habits that they have to respect. And sorry. So the main thing about the site inductions is going to take place in different languages. For as I said, we're going to have 4 types of languages, and all of them are going to take place in different hours, in different groups, by trained personnel on different languages. We know in Saudi Arabia, week starts, for example, Sundays and finishes Thursdays, which might influence also deliveries. So we chosen our site inductions to happen Sundays and have no deliveries in that same day. So all the people that come for induction are presented to the site. We minimize any possible injury, as everybody who's going to come for the first day on site, they have the chance to do something wrong, as much as we want to control it. The instructors, we're going to be a site manager or a supervisor who will speak the same language as the group. We're going to have somebody designated from health and safety from our team, if possible, in the same language. The room where it's going to take place is going to be basically, we're going to have a projector, because we all know everybody understands better from pictures or from small films, for example, instead of just telling stories or just talking. We're going to talk in the site introduction about, first of all, project information. People have to be informed exactly what's the project about. They're going to know about this. They're going to be taught about site layouts, about site rules, about any hazards. All the information will be presented in the site induction. About the tools, about the method of statement, where the parking spaces are, emergency procedures. Next one, please. And I'll pass it to my colleague.
Hello everyone. I am Adrian, and I prepared here a traffic management plan. So the traffic management plan set out the purpose, access to the application site, and we will gonna have a lot of road crossings, main roads, and a lot of traffic during the construction site. Can you please move to the next one? So during the construction, we will have installed to the road a couple of, I put here a couple of signs which we're gonna use during the construction. All the truck drivers, car drivers, machinery drivers needs to follow the signs installed on the road. We're gonna be also on the main road crossings, site entrance. We're gonna be a flagman which will inform the driver which is the right way and where he needs to go. Can you please move to the next one? So to the main entrance, we will have also some signs what is mentioned, what all the people needs to wear during the construction, like a safety helmet, vest, boots, and so on. Can you please move to the next one, the last one? Yes. And here we prepare a small traffic management plan during the construction. Most of the delivery, the people, the cars, everything will gonna come from Tabuk. And here we have the access to the site, and also access to the project, where will gonna be the project. Also, as you can see in the pictures, we have speed limits, and speed limits, it's maximum 5 miles per hour during into the site. That's it from, I will move on with I will give the lead to my colleague.
Hello, my name is Rados, and today I'm going to present you situation that is a taboo nowadays at the working place, and that's mental health. The main 3 points that affects us at work, and we may not see them, are stress that is related to sleep, lack of sleep, depression, and anxiety. Everybody can suffer from those 3 nowadays at the workplace. So I'm going to present you a way how we can combat or tackle stigma in our organization. The first one, we have 5 points, and the first point is help people understand mental health. We also provide a website where you can find more information about this, and we also created a chat room where your employees or you can have a discussion with a professional person and can help you with this. Talk about mental health. This is something that we need to do in all of our working place. And unfortunately, this is something we are not doing because, as I said, this is a taboo nowadays and nobody wants to speak about this. Share your experience. If you have a story, share it with somebody so you can receive a support from that person. Support co-workers or college. Recruit mental health champions. Here you can bring someone that can explain to your workers how they came over that problem. Being in a Muslim country, the majority of them won't take place to these courses, let's say, but they would like to do it their way by praying or by going to the church. So we need to find a way to let them express their feelings or their mental health by organization of some praying room or something similar. This is taking me to the next point, welfare facilities. So as my colleague Lucian said at the beginning, we will have recreation room, welfare, recreational room and praying room, but also we are trying to bring something different besides other people. So every single container that we will bring on site, we would like to have photovoltaic modules. So they will be self-supplied. We won't relate on the generators, only in case of emergency. Also, the toilets needs to be with shower because of the Muslim opinion on this. Knowing that there is no limit for spends, we would like to build a desalinization factory. So this I know for sure that the city will have, so we can take our water from there. Also, I would like to talk with you about the environment. Thinking into the future, and this is a town that is related to the future, we need to know how can we reduce our impact on the environment. And I think that the best way to do that is in 4 words: stay in the line. So we have the line, and the best thing to reduce our fingerprints on the environment is just stay in that line. Don't go 100 meters to the left or to the right. Next slide, please. So I would like to thank you for your time, me and my team also, and we would like to hear some questions from you, mainly, in my point of view, on the environment. I don't know why I'm hearing you now. Mainly on the environment, fingerprints, accents.
Is that the end, guys? Is that finished?
Yes, that's
Yes.
the
Right.
end.
Before we go into questions, as is traditional, let's give that a round of applause. Come on.
Excellent.
Right, 33 minutes, 2 seconds. Nice timing, guys. Nice timing. Okay, could I open up the floor to the first question then, please? Let's just get rid of that share there.
Your all your signage was shown in English. Is it going to have other languages incorporated in them signage?
Yes, we will have 4 main languages, as we had in the induction, and we already said that we will have 4 main languages because we have 4 main workers how do I say?
Yeah, four men walking at different.
Nationalities, yes,
Yeah.
nationalities. So we will have 4 main languages next to the signs.
But we'll also, as part of the induction, if there's any other different kind of nationalities who do come on site, we will also, as a company, cater for that too. And we will know that only by when they go online and they fill out the information. We'll know then through that system we'll be able to see who's coming on, what their nationality is, what their background is, where they're from, and from that we'll be able to deduce, take that information, provide them with whatever is relevant.
You were saying about your workforce going online. How are the poorer elements of your unskilled workforce? How are they going to access going online?
That's
So
going to be from the
basically-
company supplying. Whoever
Yes.
brings the people in, they will be responsible for making sure that the people who they bring to the place are online. That's not an individual thing. That's a company
As we all know,
contractor.
Clive, everybody uses, for example, agencies.
Yeah.
That's or a main contractor, a main company that employs people. They're not gonna, in any case, there's not gonna be individuals coming to us. We're not gonna put an ad in India and we'll hire direct.
Yeah, no, I understand that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great question, that, Clive, to be fair.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Can I ask one more question, please, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Just about the site layout. Can you go back to the slide?
It's the first one.
Yes, that's it. If you look at the location of the site office, how are you sure from the entrance, the security of the site is not going to be compromised? Because we'll be coming from the entrance and walk through the site welfare facility and other areas before get to the site office.
We're gonna have a person, a guard at the entrance, as we said before, and every person which accesses the site, we're gonna be introduced, first of all. There are gonna be fingerprint monitors, so everybody on site is gonna be registered.
There's a turnstile barrier that's going to be on the door.
And we will be able to, normally they do put the site office closest to the entrance and all that there. But we felt as it is at the moment, we'll be having a lot of people coming, not a lot of people coming. It's going to be a controlled area. You'll have your labor brought in and off site. So having the entrance like that and having the site office being able to see in that corner, we'll be able to see all the access points, to see who's in the parking lot, who's being delivered, who's coming and going, and that gives us a better view. Because remember, we are not in a city, we are not in a close, we'll be in a very close, large open area with a desert around us, so we'll be able to see, and we believe that site office is the perfect spot to see coming and going, as there'll be only one road in and one road out until the full development is finished.
Also, if I can add to that question, please. So
Yes.
our company policy is that anybody coming to visit the site or to the induction, they will not be alone on the site. They have to be escorted. So
Okay.
nobody will be on site without a competent person accompanying them. Another thing, we thought to put the offices further away from the noise. There are gonna be meetings in there. There are gonna be inductions. We don't want them to interfere with the activity of those offices.
Okay, there's your well. Good.
So going to the environmental considerations, you said about aiming to reduce your footprint on after the project. So I'm just curious about what you said about you wouldn't have it 100 meters to the sort of left or right. Like what's the thought process behind that? I'm just sort of curious as to how that's going to mitigate the footprint that we'd leave behind.
The main idea is just to stay into the line. By doing this, we know that we won't damage anything else but that surface that is 170 kilometers and 200 meters wide. It's just a simple thing. Don't cross this line. So then you you won't destroy any kind of fauna or animals or anything like that.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you very much.
Got time for one more if you're quick. Okay. It is actually gone over 5 minutes, so you don't get any of mine. That's fine. Okay, let's give it a final round of applause, guys. Yes. Very, very high standard first meeting there. I can see what. Let me just get rid of the recording. Hold on. Let me stop that.